I am so riled up right now. I just need to rant. I offered the most ridiculous prices. There's two reasons why a content creator should do a gifted collab. This is actually a very last minute unplanned video, but I am so riled up right now that I just need to rant, and I think this would make interesting and informative content. So I'm gonna be talking about getting paid as a content creator and all of the nonsense that goes on behind the scenes, including something that happened to me yesterday. I'm also finishing my makeup while we talk about this. A little background, I want this channel to kind of be like a behind the scenes of content creation. And so sometimes I'm gonna be talking about things that I feel like other content creators don't really talk about that much, which I understand, but I feel like this is the kind of stuff that I wish I had heard when I was starting out in content creation. Thus, I'm gonna be sharing it with you. I am a lifestyle and travel content creator on Instagram, on TikTok too, but I have a higher following on Instagram, so that's kind of more of my main social media. And you know, I'm getting into YouTube as well now, which I'm very excited about. Okay, we're gonna have to make this snappy because the sun is setting. What I wanna talk about today is getting paid as a content creator and the wide range of payment offers that you get as a content creator. I feel like often the conversation around influencers and content creators getting paid is often talking about the huge content creators that get, you know, $80,000 for a TikTok. The reality is sometimes small content creators get offered the most ridiculous prices ever. Yesterday, a brand reached out to me asking if I would do a video and 2 photos for $15. Wait, correction, a $15 Amazon gift card, not even cash. Let's just all take a moment to take that in. Just for some context, right now, I have about 27,000 on Instagram and I have about 6,000 on TikTok. Not some huge following, but also not like a tiny following. The time it would take me to figure out a plan for the video, get ready for the video, film the video, edit the video, and then do the same thing for the photos is maybe like a few hours. Okay, this is kind of tricky because I'm like half in the sun here. Even if it's 2 hours, which I think is on the low end, but fine, let's say 2 hours, still be making less than minimum wage. And that would just be the time. Not to mention the fact that I would be posting at least the video, if not the photos, on my social media, which then gives them access to promoting their product on my account, which has taken me a lot of hours to build up that number of followers on Instagram. I understand that there are smaller brands that don't have a huge marketing budget, and I understand that if I'm gonna work with a smaller brand, they're gonna pay me less than what a larger brand would. And that's fine, and content creators understand that. But in this case, it was gonna be $15 plus the product, and the product is really not worth that much, so there was literally no upside for me. Let's talk about gifted collabs. Now, I am not totally against gifted collabs. I've done gifted collabs. I just think there's 2 reasons why a content creator should do a gifted collab. Number 1 is if you're a smaller creator and you're still trying to grow your account, but you want the experience of either working with that specific brand, like the brand that wants to do the gifted collab you really value, and one day you want to turn that into a paid collaboration in the future, then I think that's great. And then also, if you're still growing, you don't have a huge following, you know that other brands probably wouldn't pay you a large amount to advertise on your page because you just don't have a huge following yet, and you want to get some experience with some kind of collaboration with a brand, then I think that's great. And then the other reason why you would do a gifted collab, why I have done a gifted collab, is if the thing that they're offering is actually worth it to me for that exchange of my service, then I'll do it. Then that's amazing. I benefit from this, the brand benefits from this, amazing. We all win. But when a brand wants to do a gifted collab and it's something that's really not worth a lot of money, just kind of like it's not worth my time or my effort or even me putting that paid partnership on my account to do this. Nobody likes to see a huge amount of paid ads on any content creator's social media. So I know that a lot of content creators, including myself, we would rather do a few ads that 1, we're getting paid reasonably well for, and 2, products that we actually enjoy and want to share it with our audience, rather than doing a whole bunch of paid collabs, like, you know, 1 a week or 1 every few days and just annoy the heck out of our audience. To collab on a small product, it's just not worth it. Now, I do understand that if a small company doesn't have a huge marketing budget, they might want to try doing gifted collabs and just see if any content creators are on board. Because you never know, some might be. So I do understand them trying. On to another type of collaboration, and that is a collaboration with a hotel or Airbnb. So I am a travel creator, things to do. I'm based in the greater Toronto area. So I post a lot of things to do in Toronto, things to do in Canada, Canadian travel, international travel, that sort of thing. And many Airbnbs reaching out to me asking if I want a free stay in exchange for posting about that place on my social media. I'm running out of breath. Now, I have two thoughts about Airbnbs and hotels gifting a stay to a content creator. On the one hand, I have actually done this. I have worked with a hotel where in exchange for staying at the hotel, I produce photo and video for them. Now, mind you, this was actually videos for their social media. It actually wasn't even advertising it on mine. That's what they wanted. But it was beneficial for me because it was a trip that I was already going on. And so I was already going to stay in that city and I would have had to pay for my own hotel. So it was kind of okay, let me reach out to some hotels and see if they would let me stay there for free in exchange for me providing photo and video services for them. In this case, I did work with one and that was great. So that was worth it for me because I was already going to that place and I would have had to pay for a hotel myself if I didn't work for my stay, essentially. I think it's worth it for content creators to do free stays with hotels or Airbnbs if it's somewhere that the content creator really wants to visit. I've seen a lot of Toronto content creators who do stays in Toronto hotels. So even though they live in Toronto, they do a collab with a hotel where they stay there for, I don't know, a night or two in exchange for photos and videos. Now, mind you, I don't know, maybe these people are getting paid, I'm not sure, but I could see that being valuable if it's a really nice hotel and the content creator thinks, oh, this would be a really nice experience to maybe stay in a different neighborhood of Toronto or just stay in the really nice hotel. I understand that. That makes sense. It's beneficial for everyone. What gets me is an Airbnb will reach out and they'll want me to stay there for free in exchange for photos and videos, but it's a place that's not that popular. It's off season, so there's really not that much to do in that specific place. It's okay, you want me to come stay at your property for 2 nights, let's say, so then I have to pay for my own gas to drive let's say 2 or 3 hours away, stay there, but then while I'm staying there, it's not even a full vacation because I'm having to produce photos and videos for the Airbnb. So it's almost I'm just paying to go somewhere to work and somewhere that I didn't necessarily really want to visit anyway. I just think the hotels and Airbnbs and brands need to think what is the benefit here that I am offering to the content creator if I don't want to pay them. I do understand that Airbnbs can be super, super expensive, especially here in Ontario. There's ones that are more than $1,000 a night. So if I could get a group of friends and go there for 2 days and get a free stay at a really big Airbnb, then yes, that actually could be beneficial. But often the Airbnbs that I'm talking about are the ones that are really small, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Another thing that brands need to remember is the fact that a lot of small content creators still have full-time jobs, which means they don't have a huge amount of time to be making content. So that's another reason why I feel small content creators do not want to take on free work or gifted collab. I do understand that if somebody has a smaller following, you're not going to want to pay them a huge amount, especially if you're a small company. But that content creator probably has a job, probably has very little time. So it's actually not beneficial for them at all to do your work for free. Even though you feel that's all that their small audience is worth, the time is not worth it for them. This was me until a few months ago when I got laid off, blah, 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 blah. But when I had a full-time job, I had to be really picky about what kind of content creation work I did because I only had so much time. It did not benefit me to take on a gifted collab and like use my weekend content for free for a brand when I literally could just be like chilling or using that time to try and build my audience and just like make my own content. Okay, that is all for my random content creator rant. Thank you for listening. It's getting dark now, so I better go. If you happen to have any other content creator questions, comment below and I might make a video answering them. And I will see you in my next video.